right, so the first order of business is going to be to open the public hearing for Wilson and Leon.
Actually,
Oh, roll call, right.
Just like to come forward and explain it to us?
Hey.
you don't need a roll call.
Oh, we don't?
No,
Okay.
that's for the regular.
Read the notice. Does anybody have a copy of the,
Yeah, I have it, it's right here. I have to read the notice first. The publication. You guys ready?
Yep.
The legal notice was posted on Friday, March 6th as follows. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to, what is this?
paragraph 274?
Pursuant to paragraph 274 and/or paragraph 276 of the state law and as prescribed in paragraph 105-9 SCB/LLA and/or paragraph 116.42-B and/or paragraph 116.50-C of the Shandaken Town Code for the purpose of hearing the following applications. Leonardo Leone for parcel located on the west side of Peck Hollow Road, Shandaken, New York, 12480, indicated as section number 5.1, block number 2, lot number 8.0, zone R3. Receiving a subdivision of a parcel currently existing of 11.83 acres into two parcels of 8.8 plus or minus acres and 3.0 acres. The public hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, March 11th, 2015 in the Town Hall Building, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, New York at 7 p.m. Anyone interested in this case is invited to attend this hearing. Communications in writing in relation thereto may be mailed to the board or presented at the above noted hearing by the order of the Town of Shandaken Planning Board. And that was posted in the Daily Freeman on March 6th.
This is not the latest one.
Is it this one then?
These are the ones-
These are the
I think
ones
this
that
is-
came from.
Is this the latest one that I have?
You might give
Over
it.
3 acres. I think it's over 3 acres.
Yes, it's 3.225.
Yeah.
So are these not?
Planning board wanted the town and the road included, so include the area.
Can you another copy of that map over there?
That's a good.
I don't have another copy of
It's a
the,
revised
I don't
one.
have a copy of the.
Yeah,
revised.
take this one since we're running short.
So it's 3.225. John?
Yeah, that's what it was, 3.225. Okay, the roll map upstairs.
These are the ones that I have.
All right, so we should ask.
Do you have the application? Great.
Yeah, the application is.
When you wanna come up? Explain
I think it's pretty straightforward. We have a large parcel in Peck Hollow that is currently on both sides of the road. There's an existing cabin on the east side of the road, and we're simply looking to put a lot line around it and meet the minimum lot requirements. Originally, we wanted to bring it down to 3 acres. I think the board had indicated that we needed to exclude the acreage of the road in the parcel, so we went ahead and included an additional 0.225 acres, which is the acreage of the road. And so, that's the subdivision that we're looking for. Thank you.
Do you have the application, Clifton? I'm saying, I don't have one for some reason, but you're welcome to have this one. Yeah.
Well, that's the only one that I have out of this file, so I need that one back.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have one?
I don't.
Will we give an application?
I don't know, because we've been doing this one since October. There was originally a public hearing scheduled, and then it was put off, and then we had gone to public hearing a second time, so I'm sure that they were provided back in last year when I had originally gotten the packets from Don.
Okay.
Are there any members of the audience that would like to say anything? Anyone here for this?
I have another application, so they must have been handed out, because I have a second one here.
I'm sure I have it somewhere, just not here. Anybody else want to see this?
So I believe it meets all the zoning requirements. Leaves a large parcel to be developed at some later time. The desire is there too, but we now have 3 acres around the canvas.
And the side yard setbacks are, at the local area, 3 acres on. I don't know what the distance is on it.
You know, that's already existing, I can't change any of that. This is the new line here,
Right.
Okay. And those are setbacks.
It looks like you're about 100 feet from the side yard, right?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, the scale of that is, such that it's pretty far.
There. The finished one.
All right.
Satisfied?
Yeah.
No comments? Like to close the public hearing?
No, we have
Oh,
to listen.
Okay.
We have Wilson.
Yeah.
Well, we'll close this public hearing and start.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
all
we
right.
can do 2 in 1.
All right.
I'll give this to Cliff so he can keep it with that file, okay?
Yep.
You said you have another?
I have another one.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Files this and.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we should have took a vote to close the public hearing. Tracy,
Yes?
you want to take a vote for closing?
I think that all in favor would suffice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye. Now you can go for the next one.
Now I'd like to open the public hearing for Wilson. Do have the notice, Tracy?
Yes. This is the most recent one for this one, but I just made that back because it's the only one I have.
Anybody have a copy of this one?
I don't know.
And these ones were given out a couple months ago too, so that's the only one I have. So I'll need to get that.
We will not steal it, I promise.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Duly
okay.
noted.
I know where you live, but. Okay. Oh, okay. You ready? Yep.
Paul and Dean Wilson. Oh,
Okay. This legal notice was also posted in the Daily Freeman on Friday, March 6, 2015. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to paragraph 274 and/or paragraph 276 of the state law and as prescribed in paragraph 105-9 SUV/LLA and/or paragraph 116.42-B and/or paragraph 116.50-C of the Shandaken Town Code for the purpose of hearing the following application. Paul Wilson, parcel located on the south side of Lost Clove Road, Big Indian, New York, 12410, indicated as section number 12, block number 1, lot number 3.300, zone R3, who is seeking a subdivision of a parcel currently existing of 58.805 acres into two parcels of 29.402 acres and 29.402 acres. The public hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, March 11, 2015, in the Town Hall Building, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, New York, at 7 o'clock p.m. Anyone interested in this case is invited to attend the hearing. This hearing, communications in writing in relation thereto, may be mailed to the board or presented at the above noted hearing by order of the Town of Shandaken Planning Board. Thank you.
Don, you're here representing Paul Wilson.
yes, they live in Pennsylvania and they could not be here tonight. But they started out with three brothers. Kurt already had his subdivided out, and we took care of that a couple of years ago. Now Paul and Dean would like, they own the remainder together. They would like to each own an equal portion. So that's what you see in front of you there. Now, I did investigate a claim by New York State that they own a 12-foot wide right-of-way through there. It is stated in a 1920 deed that there's a 12-foot wide right-of-way with no distinction as to exactly where it is. It just says across the property from Lost Clove to the back. The state claims it's the driveway of the property that
You all have packets. I've given all of you packets with the letter from the state along with the
I
map.
saw it.
where-
Yeah. Thank you.
I thought it was actually Mr. Wilson that said it was the driveway in his letter to the state.
yes, well, the state is claiming that it's the driveway, and so, but I honestly can't find anything on record that says it's a driveway. I've got old maps that show the driveway that ending right here. You know, it's a legal matter that they have to straighten out with their lawyers as far as the right-of-way goes. I don't think it has any bearing on what we're attempting to do here. The thing is, the state owns in the back, all the way around to Lost Clove Road. They already have frontage on Lost Clove Road. And the address, according to Ulster Parcel Find, for that state lot is actually Cruikshank Road. So apparently they have access to Cruikshank Road and they have access from Lost Clove Road. I'm not sure why they're claiming a 1920 right of way across, except for, I believe in their letter to Mr. Wilson, that they're saying that they would like to buy the property. So maybe that's why.
Well, that was an additional kind of note at the end where they said if he was ever interested, they would,
In other words,
they'd be interested in acquiring the property should he ever be interested in selling it.
I know they have access to purchase.
This is New York State here.
And it goes around, yeah.
this says New York, this says
City of New York.
It says City of New
And
York,
this says
State of New York.
Yeah, this is City of
So, does this, which way does it go? Does it go that way to the state, or does it go this way to the city?
But this is from the state, so it's gotta be the state one.
I believe that's New York State.
Don't they already have a budding property here that goes to the road?
They're
that's
saying
what I'm
that
saying.
they're interested in.
Well,
making-
Mr. Wilson says in his letter back to the state that it's the only means of access. His
Oh, to his
right
property.
For him.
In the
For
shore.
him.
He needs for himself, right?
Yeah.
And the property, New York State is saying 590 acres is a right-of-way for public access on foot across your land.
Yeah, but I'm still confused because does this, it doesn't go from the front to the back, then if it comes in the driveway, it goes
Right.
back this way, this says city.
City.
So that's what confused me. Does it run through the whole thing this way, go to the state?
The,
No, I believe that's New York State in the back. That's,
there's a map attached
Yeah,
to
the state.
this packet. You have it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to.
This is the right of way here, this red line,
The red line here.
which would be just over the
And then,
subdivision line on that
Then
parcel.
on this map, it's
It'll be-
going to the city.
it'll be
It's
to
not
the
going
they're
west.
to
saying
Red
that it's
line
not the
versus-
city, or it's New York State. That must be an error. Unless the city bought it from New York State originally, but on the parcel find, it's New York State.
Yeah, no, it's New York State, because that's who I mailed the letter to, and that's who wrote me.
and this is the trails and stuff like
It's still confusing because they have access to the road. I mean,
That's what I don't
They've got
understand.
property right there.
It doesn't make sense
They've got
to me.
road frontage, but
They own property to Lost Clove Road, that property comes down to Lost Clove Road, plus it's addressed Cruikshank Road, so they must have access to Cruikshank Road also. So why they need to go through Wilson property, I don't know, but that's a legal matter, like I said.
Does
Yeah.
this affect us?
Right.
And that can be resolved between.
Wilson and them.
It's not like it affects the size, you're not near any minimums or anything, so.
That's something we have to argue on, it could take years.
So this red line is imaginary.
Yes.
Not imaginary.
Yes, that's line thrown in there. There's nothing on record that puts it there. It's just saying it's there. You know, they might have some proof that's there, but I could not find anything on record. I searched, because I certainly wouldn't want to put across the map that was supposed to have a right of way on it.
Oh, this new addition for a forest preserver, yeah, that's the conserver? That's the property that they turned over to Kercheck.
Yeah.
That it?
Yeah.
Is there anyone here from the public to comment on this matter?
What is the zoning then?
It's split.
R3.
Yes.
It's R3 and R5,
And what are the size of the lots he's gonna?
29 acres. 2 29 acre lots.
2 29-acre lots.
Yes. I'm familiar with the area over there. I do believe New York State has a ton of frontage sort of on both sides of the road. And I think New York City also has a small parcel too. The fact that they wrote that letter that way sort of indicated we'd be interested in buying your property at the end. It's pretty clear what's going on there. But they don't need that right of way for any sort of access because there's tons of access everywhere over there.
And the trailhead is right up the road.
It shows thousands of feet on this map here.
The other thing that can happen with those kinds of rights of way is that for DEC to sort it out would require them to put staff on it and direct some time to it. And so they're just may be asserting the claim so that they don't have to go do the research and do anything definitive with it. But it won't be affected by the subdivision, so I think that's just kind of an article of interest, but not really, shouldn't have an effect on the subdivision.
Anyone else?
Since 1950, the only access off of Lost Clove Road was up like here. And that, where they had the trailhead was across private property to get back up into Bel Air. Now that's been turned over to the state, and that's 1,200 acres. So. But that was the only access the state had in there. But they have land that comes right to Lost Clove.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Now, it's up to you whether you want to continue the regular meeting with these two, with me out here, or not in the back or out here.
Oh, you won't be able to vote.
Right.
Oh, you have to open the regular meeting.
So, once there's a sign, nobody knows. Make sure this.
Okay.
That's the type of person.
President Wilson.
Okay, we will now
Thank you. Open the regular.
open our regular meeting. And we'll, can we have a roll call yet?
Tom Brewer, Kathy Jordan, Art Christie,
Yes.
John Horn,
Here,
Joanne Cal,
Here.
Alan Shiner, Cliff Rabuppo.
Here.
Have you had time to read over the minutes of previous meeting?
They were provided at the workshop meeting.
them at the workshop meeting if they have time to go in.
Oh, yes.
Motion to accept those minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, as far as communications goes, we have training flyers that are provided in our file for upcoming training. Invasive species, agricultural district inclusions. Main Street Boot Camp.
I suggest that any board members, may I speak, Chairman? Any board members that are not familiar with this process on the agricultural district, to look into it, because this is our farm stands and our farm issues and things like that. That's what this is. You have a certain period of time to register as agricultural property to be a farm.
Now, Bert Samuelson, he's the same one that gave it last time over Howard, didn't he?
Yes, he was. Well, it was he was the one that organized it. The one that gave it was the fellow from the state, from the agricultural state. But this is a notice for people that want to open farms and whatever. You only have that one time during the year that you can do it.
Ulster County is accepting applications from landowners to have their predominantly viable agricultural lands to be included within the New York State Certified Agricultural District. Landowners seeking inclusion must submit a completed Ag District inclusion application, a copy of the relevant portion of the tax map, a description of the land, no later than March 30th, 2015. To the Ulster County Planning Department. For more information, call Bert Samuelson at 339-2490, or you can go to the Ulster County Planning website. And there's educational two-day series taking place at Hannah Country Inn in Margaretville on March 23rd and 24th. That is being paid by the town, so anyone who wants to put the application in the bill from the planning board. So if anybody's needing some education credits, that'd be a good one.
Tracy, do you know times for that?
For what?
For this training, this Main Street boot camp? There are no times in the flyer.
No, that's the only information that I was provided. I forwarded you the email, so if you, when you get it, you'll see that it's just the same as what's in it.
I saw it, yeah.
The registration, probably when you register, they'll give you that information, because I know this course you actually have to pay for.
Right.
Well, the town has agreed to pick up the cost, but has stated that if you don't show, you would be responsible to reimburse the town for the cost.
They reference some attachments in here, but.
Yeah, there was none though. Yeah.
All right.
That's all I had. You'll see in the original when you open it.
Yeah,
'Cause
so no, I